It's the event of the year, the 2022 Taste of Black Charleston, Friday, March 11th at the Ladson Exchange Park. Join us for a variety of chefs, caterers, and restaurateurs from across the area as they compete to be the best of the region. Featuring America's Got Talent singer Ray Singleton and celebrity chef Carlos Brown. It's the Taste of Black Charleston. Good friends, great food, and a grand time. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It depends on what time it is, wherever you're watching across the globe, the planet. It is showtime. The Geno Jones Show. Yes, I am that dude. I'm him. That's right. And I come to you live Monday through Friday. 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. You and everybody you know and don't know. Everybody that you like, love, can't stand, and hate. Strangers, aliens, all the above. Tell them to subscribe. You and everybody to the Geno Jones channel. Share and like this and every episode. Go back and binge watch all the episodes. We are brought to you today, this week, next week, and the week after, really this week and next week, by the 2022 Charleston Black Expo here in the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. Ladies and gentlemen, and then the night before that, you just saw the Taste of Black Charleston. It kicks off Black Expo Weekend 2022. For more details, go to blackexposouth.com. Get your tickets. We've got seminars, speakers, celebrities. Anthony Anderson from Blackish is giving the keynote speech. Kira Sheard is going to be in the house. We have like a gospel music section that's going to be incredible. Our sister radio station, my sister radio station, and it's like R&B, Southern Soul, swing out, as they call it. My man Roy Chip Anthony and Sheldon Richardson. It's going to be like a R&B, Southern Soul kind of date party. So it's going to be incredible. Get your tickets now. All the information. I don't know if they have any booths left. So just go to blackexposouth.com. Let's kick off the show, the monologue. Good news. Good news for change. There's some bad news too, but it's some good news. So the good news is the federal anti-lynching bill. Finally, because there is no federal anti-lynching law on the books. I know you're saying, huh? What? There's no law against lynching in America in 2022? No, there's not. There's no federal law against lynching. You know, you got murder laws, but there's no anti-lynching law. Well, it passed through the House, the United States House of Representatives. 422 out of 435 votes. I just need to know. So who the 13 folks thought it was okay, it was cool for lynching to be legal? That's, we don't need an anti-lynching law. Go on and string those Negroes up by their necks. Well, I'll find out. But we won't focus on them. We'll focus on the 422 members of the House of Representatives. I mean, that was a lot of Republicans. A lot of those MAGA dudes and women. Shocking. A lot of political pressure. That's why when we tell you to call your senators and call your congresspeople, whoever represents you in the United States House of Representatives, calls and emails, that's political pressure. And it works. Now we just got to get the Voting Rights Act passed. The John Lewis Voting Rights and the Freedom to Vote Act passed. Different conversation. President Biden's going to speak on that tonight. His State of the Union address, his very first State of the Union address, and we have come a long way. But I want to, so congratulations. And listen, let's stop. Especially, I'm just going to talk to like my community. Yes, America's my community, but I'm a Black American. So, I'm speaking to Black folks. And listen, A lot of you white folks can listen to this too, but some of y'all on some MAGA madness. But especially like the black folks that voted for President Biden. He's not a pope. He's not a preacher. He's the president. He's human. Nobody agrees with everything he says or does. No president. You didn't agree with everything President Obama said and did. Some of you all still say, well, Barack Obama, he didn't do anything for black folks. Just stop talking. What have you done for black folks? For those who are so quick to say, President Biden ain't do nothing for black folks. Wrong. And I've done episodes where I've kind of just went down a list, a laundry list, and didn't have time to go down everything. And folks are saying the same thing about President Biden. What did President Biden do specifically for black folks? Here's an easy one. So when you're in the barber shop and the hair salon and somebody, what did President Biden do? You know, he disappointed black women and he was married to a white man. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. That's a whole different conversation. Because I'm going to know whether or not that you care for the culture, care for the community, by how you have ruled as a judge, who you've defended, who you've advocated for. I'm not going to listen to what you say. I'm going to watch what you have done. But let's talk about it. So when you're in the barbershop and hair salon, say, well, you know, what has Joe Biden done for black folks? He has taken 1 million children out of poverty. How about that? The majority, a significant number. The poverty rate among African American children, thanks to that child tax credit that you got for 6 months, and that you would continue to get it if President Biden has some more support. So that means we need to get more U.S. senators, like State Representative Crystal Matthews right here in South Carolina, so she can get rid of Tim Scott and take his seat. Not to mention all the other folks I told you. U.S. Representative Val Demings, who damn near became the vice president. You've got Charles Booker in Kentucky, just run Rand Paul's punk ass up out of office. Okay? Now, let me see. Oh, wait. Malcolm Kenyatta in Pennsylvania, running to be the next U.S. Senator in Pennsylvania. Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin. Get rid of Ron Johnson. That trick. Let's see here. Who am I leaving out here? Let's see. So you've got a woman who was a former Supreme Court judge in North Carolina. Cheryl, and I cannot think of her last name. It'll come to me. Actually, there are two women, but the one who seems to be the leading candidate is a black woman who was a former state Supreme Court judge. First name Cheryl. She is running to be a senator, the U.S. Senate, to be in the U.S. Senate in North Carolina. So we got Crystal Matthews in South Carolina. We've got the sister named Cheryl. Her last name will come to me. In North Carolina, Val Demings. In Florida, Malcolm Kenyatta. In Pennsylvania, Charles Booker. In Kentucky, my man Gary Chambers Jr. running to be the U.S. Senator in Louisiana. So what is that? That's 6 we got. Mandela Barnes, 7. Man, can you imagine if we elected 7 black senators? If you were to add 7 black men and women to the United States Senate, first of all, Joe Biden, he wouldn't have any problem. He wouldn't, listen, Joe Manchin, as a matter of fact, I would personally pack up Joe Manchin, I said Joe Madden, Joe Manchin. I would personally pack up Joe Manchin's ish. Take it, go on over there to the side with the Republicans and take Kristen Sinema with you. Grumpy, Manchin, Goofy, Sinema. Take Goofy with you, Grumpy. We wouldn't even need you. So that's why it's important. First primary, Democratic-Republican primary. It's that season, 2022. It's midterm elections. Texas today, had their first primary. Listen, you could lose this democracy. What's happening in Ukraine can absolutely, positively here. Do you not think Orange Hitler actually wanted to send federal troops And the only reason he didn't do it, because folks said, listen, man, dude, you just can't just do any damn thing you want to. You cannot, the Constitution, you cannot send federal troops to the U.S.-Mexican border because you're worried about illegal immigrants and aliens coming across the border. You can't, do you not think if Orange Hitler was still in office, he wouldn't think second, man, do you just imagine, not a scary, a frightening thought, I don't even want to think about it, but if that son of a sea cook was still in the White House, do you not think, well, we got to stop this immigration and it's just, you know, what did he say? The first thing he said when he came down the escalator, Mexicans, they're criminals and they're rapists. And do you not think that same racist mentality, do you not think that he wouldn't think second about sending troops if he could? If he couldn't, if he could, if he would, even if he wouldn't care about the Constitution. He don't give a damn about the Constitution. What he thinks about the Constitution is just like shredding a piece of paper. I guarantee you, he wouldn't hesitate to send the U.S. military into Mexico under the guise that, well, we've got to stop this, there's a siege. These immigrants from Central America, they're bringing crime and drugs and they're rapists. Because he said it out of his own mouth. And I guarantee you he wouldn't hesitate to try to send the military across the border. So I'm saying, don't think what's happening in Ukraine could not happen in America, because it could if you had the wrong person as the commander-in-chief. Trust me, it could happen. He sent troops. As a matter of fact, he sent these federal police, unmarked federal police to cities like Portland back in the summer of 20. Remember the summer? George Floyd was murdered and you had the protest. People were speaking out, protesting against police brutality and murder. And he sent these federal troops to Portland. He's talked about sending them to Chicago because of all the blah, 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 blah. He was sending them to all the Democrat cities, as he would say. Do you not think he wouldn't hesitate to do it in a second? People protested his policies. He didn't like that. He would send. If he would figure out a way to send the military, I'm telling you, please understand and know, leadership matters. And when you get cray-cray, real cray-cray, like crazy cray-cray, and a messianic complex with an inferiority complex, insecurity, a little age, they talk about Biden, who y'all need to worry about and examine his head, is Orange Hitler. That dude, narcissism, innocent men, women, and children, babies die. You're seeing it in real time on your TV right now. Who did Orange Hitler, who does he look up to? Who does he idolize? Who does he bow to? Literally, every time he's near him, he's like, oh God, President Putin said that he didn't interfere with our elections, and he was very strong when he said it. Really? Took the side of a murderous dictator over your own intelligence agency. And people in the military are still pissed about it. How do I know? Because I had my military expert who spent over 20 years. He was a master sergeant in the Marines. Retired Master Sergeant Roy Gray. Go back and look at my episode from last, what was that, Wednesday or Thursday? Okay? So leadership matters. So when people, like I said, go back. Let me just go back a little bit. I know I take twists and turns here, but it's my show. We can do that. Because when people say, well, what did President Joe Biden do, President Biden do for black folks? he reduced child poverty in the black community by 50%. He took 1 million black children out of poverty. How about that? 1 million black children who were in poverty, he took them out of, and their families out of poverty with the child tax credit. Gave nearly 6 billion, 5.8 if we want to be exact, because I know some of you all are anal like me. Well, what exactly? So round it off. How about that? We're going to round it off. $6 billion, 5.8 billion, $6 billion in 2021 alone to HBCUs. How you like me now? Please understand, I'm telling you all right? I'm just telling you. This madman bombing cities, bombing television and radio towers in all these major cities. Google Chechnya. Just Google Chechnya and see what Putin's thugs and military did to the citizens of Chechnya. If you think what he's doing now, you hadn't seen nothing yet. War crimes, murder, dropping all kind of lethal weapons that you were using like a World War III. Everything but nukes. And then this fool said that he is putting his nuclear weapons arsenal on high alert. He's suicidal. So dude, if you're suicidal, have at it. Be suicidal. But we ain't going with you. And to the people of Russia who could be watching my show because it's global and YouTube is still getting through, signal may be kind of slow, but whatever, you can still see the show in Moscow and in Russia. Because many of the people, especially the young people, shout out to the millennials and Gen Zs in Moscow. I know y'all don't want this. Man, y'all listening to, come on, y'all listening to Drake and the Baby and Cardi B and Meg the Stallion. Y'all ain't trying to do this. And Chris Brown, y'all want to listen to American music, wear American fashions. You know, y'all want to watch LeBron and Steph Curry and Ja Morant. Y'all not trying to do this. You tired of living under a dictatorship, but it's hard to get. It is hard to get a visa and to get out of Russia. Putin is paranoid. Call his ass King Paranoid because he is that, but he's dangerous. But the people of Russia and the people around, but now even the oligarchs, the crooked business people that have, along with Putin, that have robbed the Russian people of billions of dollars. Now all their money is frozen because the United States and Great Britain and France and Germany, like, look, you know what? Y'all can't access any money that you got in like American banks, or banks in London or France. No, you can't access that money. Even China, Putin's boy, even China's like, hey dude, you need to calm your ass down because you about to mess up our money. And what have I said so many times on this show? The way to get the attention of people with money and power is to start digging in them pockets and start taking some of that money and grab the power on your way out the door with you. You will get their attention quick, like instantly. Like, hey, oh, whoa, what's wrong? What do we have for a problem? Can we talk about this? What is the problem? That's the way you get people's attention. All right, so it's going to be a relatively short show tonight. I want to let you get ready for the State of the Union address tomorrow. So the day after. As a matter of fact, I want to do something different. I was going to start it today, but I'm going to start it tomorrow. It'll be called Ask Geno. You got a question? Ask Geno. Want to know something? Ask Geno. I don't have the answer. Promise. I'll get it for you. So we're going to ask Geno. You can ask Geno about what did I think about the president's State of the Union address. You can ask Geno about what do you think is going to happen in Ukraine. Not good. But nobody can get in the mind of a madman, Vladimir King Paranoid Putin. But I'll give you my take. So feel free to tell everybody, you got a question, ask Geno. And it could be about whatever, I'll give you my perspective, my best and most honest, informed answer. And I won't just base it on feelings. I'll base it on facts. And if I don't have the facts at the moment, heck, I might grab my phone and just do a Google search in real time. Do a little research live on camera. That's how we do things here on the Geno Jones Show. Because it's my show. And we can do it like that. On my way out the door, I got to discuss the story because yesterday I was talking about, there's a survey, really a study done by a black dating app called, it's spelled BLK. So I don't know if they call it black or BLK, but it's BLK. So it's a dating app. Primarily appeals to like young millennials, Gen Zers. Gen Zers are like, I'd say from like 12 to 20. And millennials are like from close to 40 to like 21 to 40. It's in that range. So anyway, but this is a black dating app. And they did a survey and 64% of all the women, black women in the survey, said that they don't feel safe in America. These are black women. 78% of the Gen Zers and young millennials said that they don't feel safe as a black woman in America. So I've talked about it. I'm going to do a series of shows on that. So black men, we've got to really collectively, we got to learn to love each other. That is my thing. 'Cause a lot of times we focus on anti-blackness and how when people, there's a perception and, I don't have the data. Well, I'll have some data for you. But, we see, you see black men and women, especially when they become prominent, you'll see examples of black men and women who are not married to black people. And that's a whole different debate. But so here's my thing, because on some levels, because people say love knows no color and love is blind. Well, love is not blind, so stop that lie. And in some cases, probably in many cases, love doesn't necessarily know color. But one thing we got to be honest. If we're gonna have this conversation, we have to on this show, on my show. Look, tell the truth, shame the devil. So one of the many things we got to be honest about is that color, or this whole made up BS, this made up they call it a construct, it's really a made up con game of race, affects this nation was built on a foundation rooted in racism. You had one group of people from Europe who stumbled up on America, gave it a name, where you had people, native people who were already living here. And then you went and basically stole and purchased another group of people, Africans from West Africa, and brought them against their will here to America to work and generate money for a small handful of Europeans who became Americans so they could generate wealth and power for themselves and their generations of unborn children. So we have to be honest about this. So every institution and system, there is inherent bias. Systematic racism, institutional racism is real, and it affects and permeates every walk of life. We don't let it stop us, but we have to. It affects how we are, how our standard of beauty. Because the advertising industries, when it comes to marketing and advertising, television, magazines, radio, there have been certain images, their standards, which is a European standard of beauty for black women and men. standard of what universities are deemed the best, the most prestigious universities that were based on a European standard, that was some of the biggest disseminators of racism. This whole racist, made up, phony science called eugenics was started by educators and intellectuals at Harvard University, Harvard College, I should say, one of our most prestigious. So you've had some of the most respected institutions that practiced and permeated in racism and spreading racism. So the conversation is going to be, let us, as Black people, let's learn to really love each other and ourselves. Let's learn to be a little more patient, to extend more grace and compassion and humanity and empathy, and to be less judgmental. I know it's fun to be judgmental. It's fun to be petty. I can be the king of petty. But in reality, let's give each other as Black people the same level of understanding, compassion, empathy, and a sense of wanting to make them feel comfortable, like we do for people who are not Black. Now, I understand that we've been indoctrinated to say and do things, the term is assimilate, to kind of adopt the way that white folks do things, because you don't want to make white people uncomfortable. And we've done it at the expense of each other. So let's start learning to do things and to love each other and try to do things where we don't make each other comfortable. And I worry about other folks. If the truth makes you uncomfortable, that's a you problem. It's not a me problem. My grandmother taught me the truth will set you free, and the truth needs no defense. So that's going to be a whole series of shows we're going to talk about. But we just got to not even focus on people who may not love each other, who may somehow, when they reach a certain level, they may feel that, Black men or Black women are not suitable for a mate. That's just, don't waste your time. Because that's not the case in every case. And if that's the case in some cases, that's a Black man or Black woman that you don't want that headache. You don't. But what we can do, let's focus on and learn how and talk about how we can learn to love each other, ourselves, and each other better. How can we be committed to self-love and promoting, Black love in our community? Because when you can love yourself, you can love other people. And if we can learn to love ourselves individually, and if we could really learn to love Black people, it's easy to have compassion for anybody else. It really would be. Especially if they show that they see you as part of the human race and a global community, and they're not coming to you with the racism and the misogyny and the sexism and the homophobia and all that other stuff. We're going to have that conversation, but let's focus on learning to love each other and teaching our young people to love each other. Because at the end of the day, this whole situation, look, I grew up in Chicago. You've had gangs, but let me just say this, because people talk about, there's crime in Chicago and New York. Show me a city, a town, a country where there's high rates of poverty, low rates of opportunity, high rates of unemployment. Those communities are infused with drugs. Why is it so easy to get drugs in poor neighborhoods, but not businesses? Why is it easy to get guns into these neighborhoods, but we can't get resources? We can't get laptops and tablets we can't get schools with teachers that's making six figures, where we can get the best and brightest educators, along with therapists, mental health professionals, to deal with the trauma that has been genetically passed down through our DNA, which is not an opinion, which is a fact. So I just wanted, and I really got digressed, but it was a disturbing story. There was a black woman in Akron, Ohio, punched in the face and really beaten up pretty bad. Fortunately, it was caught on tape. And the thug, the assaulter, was a guy named Andrew Walls. He's the vice president of the Proud Boys. So there's racist, these racist thugs, these domestic terrorists. Because the Proud Boys were some of the ringleaders that stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021. So they are domestic terrorists. So don't talk to me about ISIS, Bin Laden. Talk about the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and the Three Percenters. So Mr. Andrew Walls he's been charged with assault, and I read the Akron Beacon Journal. Apparently this thug turned himself in. Goes back to the study. Now you see why 64% of all black women in America say they don't feel safe as a black woman in America. As a black man, that's something we got to address. And we got to make sure that we make them feel safe, no matter who it is, be the Proud Boys or one of our homeboys. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live, like right now, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Please subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. Please share and like and share this and every episode. Copy the link, do what you need to do. The Geno Jones Show brought to you this week by the 2022 Charleston Black Expo here in the Charleston, South Carolina market. I should say the Charleston, South Carolina metro area or market, but I don't want to use industry jargon. So here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, actually north of Charleston, about a mile from the airport, which is actually in north of Charleston, but it's all part of the same metro. You got me? Just like New York, you got Manhattan, you got the Bronx, Brooklyn's, Queens, Staten Island, the whole 9 yards. So it's all part of the same metro. It's going to be Saturday, March 12th. Anthony Anderson from Blackish. Anthony Anderson, keynote speaker, is going to be seminars, educational seminars. It's going to be celebrity speakers. Like I said, Anthony Anderson from Blackish. Yo, Ant, player, holla at Tracy. Bring Tracy with you. Because, we love the Blackish family and an example of black love. We love that. So bring Tracy with you. I know it's the last season of Blackish, too. A lot of us, we hate that. Kiara Sheard, if you're a gospel music fan, gospel music icon legend, she's going to be there. We're going to have a gospel music section and booth and whole 9 yards. R&B, Southern Soul, swing out music, day party. Roy Chip Anthony, my buddy, who's been a guest 3 times on the Geno Jones Show, and Sheldon Richardson. That's going to be Saturday from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. The Charleston Area Convention Center, a mile from the airport, and kicking the Black Expo weekend off for 2022 here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's going to be the Taste of Black Charleston.
It's the event of the year, the 2022 Taste of Black Charleston, Friday, March 11th at the Latson Exchange Park. Join us for a variety of chefs, caterers, and restaurateurs from across the area as they compete to be the best of the region. Featuring America's Got Talent singer Ray Singleton and celebrity chef Carlos Brown. It's the Taste of Black Charleston. Good friends, great food, and a grand time. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
Get your tickets, blackexposouth.com. I love each and every one of you. I really do. God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I can say I do. I really love each and every one of you. Mother, I love you more than life itself. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be on Wednesday, tomorrow. Right? Today's Tuesday. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. I want to thank you once again. Thank everybody for watching so much. Check out President Biden's State of the Union address happening at 8 o'clock. There's a lot of other things I wanted to mention. When you're in the barbershop, and here's the line. President Biden, what has he done for black folks? Took 1 million black children out of poverty thanks to the child tax credit. He gave $6 billion to HBCUs. I'm not even talking about the infrastructure things where a lot of, especially, come on, in the hood, in the black neighborhoods, we are the last one to get the potholes fixed and the bridges fixed. So that's a whole nother conversation. And there's a whole lot more, but I'll get in that tomorrow. And also tomorrow, new feature, Ask Geno, live in my chat room. We're going to be doing that. A lot of new, exciting, big things. Thursday, we'll talk about the weekend. I got a lot of big weekend, making a couple appearances this weekend and the following weekend. It's the Black Expo weekend. I love each and every one of you. I can't say it enough. One last thing before I get out of here is always be blessed. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.